So our first question would be, can school discipline, when poorly applied, really have emotional scars on students?
Definitely yes. Definitely yes. When school discipline is poorly applied, the results can be very damaging. Can be very damaging. Like in a situation where a child is disruptive in class.
Okay.
And the teacher wants to control that child, and instead of using an approach that is kind of empathetic, you want to like lord it over the child, trying to embarrass the child or shame the child. You understand? So the teacher is disciplined, but the child is already kind of emotionally wounded, so to speak. And being a child or a student, he or she may not be able to really express how they feel at that point in time. So it becomes an emotional wound. They carry it in.
Yeah.
And it will begin to manifest in other forms.
Even till they grow up.
Like some of us have emotional scars.
Yeah.
You know, as we grew older, we began to manage them. Yeah. Because you see in a learning environment where the teacher is like the Lord.
Yes.
And there's this mindset that teachers have, that I'm the one in charge. Whatever I want is what happens in the classroom.
Okay.
So because of that, there's really no respect for the child's dignity, so to speak. So yes, when school discipline is poorly applied, it can actually be detrimental.
There was an instance of a particular girl, 4-year-old girl, because she poo-pooed on her body.
A preschool child.
They didn't put her in school bus. She trekked she trekked a long distance, and she's paying for school bus because of she poo-pooed on her body. Minus that, they flogged her. There were wounds on her body. They flogged her and they allowed her to trek under the sun, crossing major roads to go home.
Just to instill discipline.
Yes, just to instill discipline. So you see, it sometimes, when you say emotional scars on uniforms, there are so many ways. But on the other hand, I'm going to, because this new generation, schools now, because I think maybe the teachers, don't you think that the teachers who are involved in this, they are those traditional teachers who really believed on discipline, that discipline, I must flog a child for this child to know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Are they traditional teachers?
Yes, they are, because they came from that era where discipline was fear-based.
Okay.
Fear-based. You know, they came from the era where they obey instructions without questions, you know, immediate compliance to rules.
Yeah.
So for them now to marry the present reality on ground to where they were coming from, it's kind of very difficult for them. Very difficult for them, because they are like, how can I scold a child without hitting that child? How can I correct a child without hitting the child? How can I correct a child without touching the child? Do you understand? Okay. So they are still struggling. Most teachers are still struggling with that. And because they struggle with that, they leave the children confused.
Okay.
Do you understand? They leave them confused. When a child does something wrong that actually needs counsel, do you understand? Discussion, communication.
Okay.
And all this child gets is maybe a slap, a knock. There was a video that went viral some time ago where a teacher was trying to teach a child. I think I remember saying 30 something, trying to make that child say that particular thing. It's a little boy.
Okay.
And you could see her hitting the child. I think she was eventually arrested or something like that.
Okay.
Yes. So that kind of a teacher is a traditional teacher that has found it difficult to live where she was to the present reality on ground.
So would you say, is discipline in school trauma in disguise or respect?
Discipline in school can either be trauma in disguise or respect.
Okay.
Depending on how that discipline is meted out to the pupil.
Okay.
Do you understand? When the goal of that discipline is to correct that child, you know, to help the child understand what he or she did wrong, teaching them to take responsibility and to be accountable for what they have done, it will inspire respect.
Oh, yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But when the intention behind the discipline is aimed to shame the child, to embarrass the child, to physically and verbally abuse that child, it becomes a trauma. Yeah, it becomes a trauma.
That is nice. So, should teachers have the right to physically discipline children?
That's a no-no.
Yeah, they don't have the right now. But don't you think this has, as in on the other hand, some kids don't like, they take it for granted.
Okay.
They say, after all, if you do me anything, I'll just go and call my mommy. And the parents, they will march in. Who told you to scold my child? Who told you to flog my child? How dare you? Do you know I carry him or her for 9 months and all that? So, what can be done to strike this balance? Because sometimes, like, you don't scold a child and all that, like maybe punishment. Like some parents don't even want any form of scolding or even punishment or even take your hands up. They don't want it. And some of these kids, they do take it for granted. What is your take on this?
Okay. The first question says, should teachers discipline children? Yes, physically.
Yeah, physically.
For me, it's a no-no.
Okay.
It's a no-no because we live in an economy where there are a lot of stress.
Yeah.
So you see people come to school with excess baggage from maybe activities that happened in the home.
Okay.
And you come to the classroom. The children there are there for you to teach, to guide them, to correct them. And in the process of physically disciplining them, you find out that it becomes abusive.
Yeah.
Becomes abusive. Do you understand? So teachers should not physically. There are other ways you can correct a child that has done something wrong. Maybe a child that did not turn in their homework, or a child that did not finish classwork. Those things are things that can be properly managed. In such a way that the child's dignity still remains intact. Do you understand? The child still feels loved, still feels valued, still feels like an important member of the class.
So talking about emotional scars in uniform, talking about discipline and abuse, where do we draw the line between discipline and abuse?
Okay, the line between discipline and abuse is drawn the moment any disciplinary action inflicts physical pain, emotional damage, or psychological damage, and makes the child feel worthless and affects the child's self-confidence and self-esteem. When the intention behind a disciplinary action is to shame that child or to embarrass that child, the line, a teacher has already crossed the line between discipline and abuse. Yes. And sometimes when it is not checked, sometimes the teachers, they lose control. You just find out from one child to another child, from one child, and it becomes a norm in the class. And at the end of the day, you'll be teaching a child in the class and the child does not understand what you're saying, but the child is too anxious, too afraid.
Sometimes they know the answer, but they don't want to.
Too anxious, too afraid to even tell you that, sir, I don't understand this question, because they already know that you will not listen to them. Do you understand? So there are different forms of abuses for children. It could be physical, it could be emotional, it could be psychological. So when a child is learning under fear, it will affect the child's academic performance and the outcome. Do you understand? So once any method of discipline erodes its child's sense of dignity, it is no longer discipline. It is now an abuse. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I just hope that there are teachers watching us, emotional scars on uniforms, drawing the line between discipline and abuse. And I think that every teacher should be knowledgeable about this. Thank you very much, Mrs. Doris Isaac, for being on Voices of Igalo.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I'm so glad that you are here.
Yeah.
Thank you. If you love what we are doing at Igalo Foundation, trying to reach out to people, please kindly subscribe to our channel at regalofoundation.com. I remain your host, Nkechi Jane Obodoke. Thank you. This is Voices of Igalo.